Hello and welcome back to Hyperdimension Neptunia. You Action Unleashed, the Let's Play with Rambler. Blind, that is. Right, anyway. Whew. Let's carry on, shall we? We've got loads of quests left to do, but we're 64% of the way there, so I think we're pretty damn good. Journalists only, character set quest. Can those game industry journalists examine the monsters here? Just beat the boss, and you'll win. Yes. Okay. Cool. Well, equal leveled as well. Fantastic.
Now loading.
Oh, excuse me. Do apologise. Just had a load of Coca-Cola. Oh dear.
Don't play that.
Cool. Right. Okay. Let's do this then. So yeah, what else is there to talk about in the gaming world or in the world in general while we do this? There was a story that came up recently. Oh, there's a couple of things actually I can talk about. Although I can't remember the name of the one person in the main one that I found out about today. But if I can remember, I will. But anyway, good news on the whole GTA 5 mod community thing. Apparently, according to Jim Sterling in his video recently, Take-Two has backed off slightly from actually carrying out lawsuit actions against certain mod communities for Grand Theft Auto 5 and possibly maybe the other ones as well. Rockstar has apparently stepped into the mix a bit more than they have done and are essentially trying to clarify that Take-Two will not take any action over modders or mod communities that specifically target and only want to use mods for the single player game. They only want to target people who are using said mods in the online game, which makes perfect sense because of course if you can cheat in the online game then of course it makes it obviously not a fair experience for everybody else, and also it can absolutely knacker potential money-grabbing opportunities for Take-Two and Rockstar themselves with microtransactions and other pointless MacGuffin. But anyway, yeah, Rockstar have basically said that they're going to talk to Take-Two in a bit more detail, and yeah, apparently mods that only affect single-player gameplay will not be affected by lawsuits. Don't know if that means Open 4, the main group that Take-Two targeted, will be allowed to continue as they are. I don't know if they're going to talk to the mod community in a bit more detail about exactly how they're going to approach this situation, but it's a good sort of... It's a good development, let's just say, and a step in the right direction for the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Again, we don't know much more than that. It was just a Jim Sterling video. He said he got an email from Rockstar themselves and a few other gaming journalists and I believe some YouTubers as well, explaining the situation. So that's quite positive and good. But that's a start. But again, we don't know all the details yet, and Jim doesn't either. Not yet anyway, so we don't know like how they're going to do it, or if the Open 4 mod community can carry on or something like that. Who knows? But it looks like there's something going on in the pipelines. It might have been down to the fact... Oh, cutscene, sorry.
We've done a pretty thorough investigation of this area.
Yes, we beat up lots of enemies and not much else.
Being a professional journalist is tough. Do we really need to go down into the trenches for our articles?
Well, you just need to be there and ask questions, be persistent, and I guess in some cases slightly intimidating to get the answers you need, to get the story you need, to keep your bosses happy, to keep your things selling, to keep you in a job. Not necessarily beat the crap out of monsters, but, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Blasphemy! That is exactly what we as game industry journalists should be doing. Okay. We need proper context to understand how the CPUs work, and to do that, we gotta understand the world. It makes for a stronger article if we can write about current issues and how the CPUs handle them.
Surely that's journalism 101, but then again, I'm not a journalist.
So true. Just writing blindly about how great their accomplishments are makes us no different than smut mags.
But smut mags sell quite well. Or if they don't sell actual magazines, because a lot of things are going digital, they still have a lot of digital relevance, I guess. I don't know. Again, I'm not a smut magazine person, businessman, woman thing. So again, you'll have to take that with a pinch of salt.
Honestly, some sexy pictures wouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe we could add it in as a bonus.
I think we've had enough of those already. But again, sex sells. So
I agree, but I doubt we'd get the go-ahead for something like that.
Probably, but you are in a Japanese area. I don't think they'll mind so much.
Depends on how we present it. No, how we frame the images. We just need a clever tagline.
Oh, you're going to clickbait now. No, that's very bad.
Slap some banners over any parts that we didn't intend to take a picture of. It'll be fine. You say really creepy things, Dengeki-go.
She's probably a bit of a pervert, but so am I, so I can't criticise.
If that didn't intend part is referring to what I think it is, I'd rather not cross that bridge. It's a joke! Let's keep that as a backup plan in case this whole thing falls through, though. If they beat Next Gen Mech, everything will be just fine. Let's hope for the best.
Okay.
Now loading.
There you go. Oh, we've got a new quest as well. Great. From 6 to 8 islands. Oh, we've got loads. Well, let's carry on where we were for now. So, Vivid Wisdom. I thought you needed a new power, so I have a new item ready. Don't like to spoon feed, so go and get it yourself. Well, that's just lazy, isn't it? Really lazy. Oh, it's a journalist again? Oh, alright. Oh, we'll go for Mitsu this time then. Okay. But yeah, what was I going to talk about? Yeah, the whole mod community thing, you know. Jim thinks that it was down to the fact that the Steam version of GTA 5, maybe other Grand Theft Auto games as well, but I think specifically GTA 5, suddenly got very, very negative reviews from people either buying the game or already own the game, as a sort of backlash against Take-Two's cease and desist orders on the mod community. And I know Rockstar are very, very, very protective over their critical acclaim status for their games. You know, all of their games pretty much have done extremely well. I mean, there are some that haven't, I know that, but they're quite obscure ones, but most of them have been very well received, so they want to keep that going, so maybe that pressured them into doing something. Who knows? Because again, I said before, and I stand by it, until this is properly sorted out in a way that's fair, I'm still not going to be buying any Rockstar games from now on, or any Take-Two games that are published by Take-Two, until it's sorted, because personally, again, I don't like greedy people. I know it's business and they've got to make money and it's hard to make money, blah blah, I know, and they've got investors to appease who want a bigger slice of the pie, I know, but it doesn't excuse the fact that you can be too greedy, you can cause problems, and if nobody's happy about it, then yeah, what the fuck should I buy any more of your products? You've got to, I like your products, don't get me wrong, but I've got to also like you as a company as well, otherwise it's just, fuck it, you know. But anyway, I mean, not everybody shares that same opinion, and I'm not turning around saying that, have we done? Nope, we're still going. Okay, I'm not saying everybody should follow that mantra, you buy what you want and enjoy what you want, absolutely. I won't say anything else on the other side. But, yeah, personally, yeah, if the company that I've bought a product from suddenly does something really douchey, and it gets, like, caught to my attention, and it's really douchey, then I usually stop supporting them then and just think, nope, forget it. Because one of the best ways to stop anybody from doing anything these days, especially with corporations and stuff, is money. Just use your wallet, don't buy their stuff, that's it. And if enough people do it, and also make a loud noise as well, that always helps, then yeah, you can just ruin them pretty quickly, and usually it causes them to panic then, and then they back off a little bit. Maybe compromises have to be made here and there, but it's better than going with what they wanted to get away with, if that makes sense. But anyway, it is what it is. That's just my opinion on things. But anyway, hopefully it'll work out, and mods can be brought back for the single-player community, which I'm fine with. I think using it on the online community is a bit lame, personally. I don't think you should be doing that, but I don't online game much at all, if at all, really. GTA Online sounds like a lot of fun, but personally I just want another installment of Grand Theft Auto. It probably won't happen now because of GTA Online being so successful. It may be that they just stick with GTA Online and maybe bring out GTA Online 2 or something like that in the future. Maybe Grand Theft Auto is just moving into the online universe permanently, you know, in which case fair enough. I hope not. I hope they do come up with the main installments, but that's where the money is, and whether they can be bothered to. I mean, GTA 5 I think was one of the most expensive video games ever made. It took, I think, over 5 years to make, and it required some intense labour hours and intense programming and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, whether they'll do it again or not, who knows? But we'll see. Another story though that's not so good though, sadly, is there's something going on with regards to a composer or a creator of music for video games by the name of, I think it's Alex Mauer. Or Alex Mauer. I can't remember the full name, so I apologise if I've got it wrong. But look it up. I think it's Alex Mauer. But anyway, it's a she as well, apparently, which is interesting. But then again, I shouldn't be sexist like that, so I apologise. But that's not the point. The point is that apparently there's been some sort of disagreement or dispute between this Alex lady and a developer she created music for one of their games. I forget the game, it's a shooter game, something DSP, shooter DSP or something like that. And again, it was on Jim Sterling's channel. His video was up earlier today, so check it out. If you go on, Jim Sterling's channel, you'll see the video in question. But apparently, what's happened is that this Alex lady's had a falling out with, or a dispute with this developer she made music for this game. We don't know what the falling out is exactly. It could be royalties, it could be something else, who knows. But apparently what this Alex lady's done is she hasn't been able to resolve it with the developer in question, for whatever reason. And now what she's basically gone and done is she's basically claiming that the music that she created for the video game in question, I think also, was it Death Road to Canada or something like that, that zombie survival game? That's been hit by this as well, because she made some music for that game as well. So what she's basically gone and done is she's basically claimed the music on the game that she made, this shooter DSP game, as her own work, which in effect it is, because she made it. But I believe the actual owner of the music is in fact the developer and not her, due to contracts that were signed and the whole sort of idea that if somebody contracts you to make something for them or to make something as part of a project, and obviously you make it and you get paid for it, you tend to relinquish the rights of the thing you've made to the developer or to the person who contracted it for you, because essentially it's their asset, because what you've done is creating an asset for them and they paid you for it. But something along those lines, and apparently paperwork has been shown where that appears to be the case about this case, in that the music that Alex Mauer made for the shooter DSP game and all that was contracted out, and essentially the owner to the music isn't her but the developer. And what's happened is because of this dispute over the music for some reason, she's claimed ownership of the music, saying it's all her own work, and she's now been issuing takedown notices to loads of YouTube videos that have used the game and the music within the game as part of their videos, in terms of Let's Players, reviewers, that kind of thing. And essentially, basically giving out a copyright strike takedown notice on the videos, and for saying that they've used her work without her permission and stuff like that in terms of the music. And when people sort of disputed this, or some people, including some big YouTubers I think, have disputed and said, well, hang on, what do you mean, it's in the game, it's fair use, blah blah blah, you can't go ahead and do that, and surely you don't own the music even though you created it, it's the asset, it's the developer who should do it. If the developer issues a takedown notice, that's different, but not you can do that. She's basically turned around and said, well, don't complain to me about the takedown, complain to the developer. It's the developer's fault that the takedown notice has come about, even though she's the one who issued it. And when they contested that further, these people who were affected by it, in terms of like YouTubers and critics and stuff like that, she's basically said again that when they decided not to complain to the developer about this, but instead complain to her because she was the one who issued the takedown notices, etc., she's now doubled down and basically said, nope, I'm sorry, it is nothing to do with me, it's the developer.
It was worth the effort. I wasn't sure if we'd be able to come up with a new super route.
Did you?
We've got 9 of these items. We may as well keep looking for more. Don't you find it strange that our company was able to develop something that could tap into this much power? I feel safe with these items, but I also feel scared about the potential for abuse they carry.
Yeah, but you're the only ones using them, so if you're the ones who are basically turning around and basically admitting that you could potentially abuse them, then yeah, you need to stop using them, but you won't, will you?
Us grunts aren't supposed to worry about stuff like that. We should focus on using it as best we can.
Unless, of course, I think they are just trialling it out for maybe mass production or mass use, I don't know.
I mean, we can get such better scoops thanks to these. I bet we could even take on that monster.
Yeah, good luck.
You aren't frightened that we made something artificial that can harness as much power as the CPUs? Our company has actually gained enough power to create its own nation through these things.
Fair point.
We're using it for good, though. And when I say good, I mean it'll help us to write good articles. You can say that again. It's the only way we know how to live.
So all that moral quandary is just like, oh yeah, we're using them to write good articles because that's what we do. Ha, fuck what I just said then. So why even raise it up as a moral quandary if you're just going to throw it away like that from all that stuff? Oh, Lily Special Learn. Fill 50% or more of the X-Drive gauge and press LB, RB and Y to activate.
Now loading.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's between... oh! Next-gen mech must be defeated using a Lily special move. Oh! When the X-Drive gauge is over 50% full, press LB and Y to activate it. But it just told me to use LB and RB and Y to activate it. Whoever activates the move will lose 50% of the X-Drive gauge. Keep in mind that both characters need to know how to use this very special move. Right, but again, it said LB, RB and Y. Whatever, we'll come across it at some point. We'll sort that later. But anyway, yeah, no, so yeah, this Alex Mara, so she's basically gone and issued all these takedown notices. Doubled down when people complained to her and not the developers like she requested, because they said, well, we haven't got an issue with the developer because it's not the developer who's issued the takedowns, it's you. And apparently she doubled down again and said, look, you know, if you're not going to complain to the developer about this and what have you, then I'm just going to maintain the takedown notices, and if anybody tries to get around it, then I shall take legal action. Well, I don't think she'll take legal action, but she just said, well, I'm not budging, basically. I'm sticking to my guns. And she's also gone to the trouble now of basically taking the music that she's created for these games and is now selling it through her own website for up to $1,000 a shot. What? And yeah, it's just really been quite negative, because now this shooter game, I think, again, this DSP shooter game was on Steam. It's now had to be taken down completely, so you can't buy it anymore, to have the music removed from the game and then be re-uploaded with either no music or some edited music in there or some new music. And even Death Road to Canada has been affected as well, although it hasn't been taken down yet. So yeah, it's a weird one, because you think, well, you know, is it her music, or does the music belong to the developers or not? Well, as far as the contracts and the documents that have been shown about all this, it seems to be that it is within the ownership of the developers, which is fair enough. And what she seems to be trying to do... Sorry. CPU of Lean Box. Defeat this powerful enemy and awaken you to your new power. Okay. And it's only one girl this time. Well, that's interesting. Okay. But anyway, yeah, no... yeah, the ownership seems to be with the developers, but she seems to have this problem with the developers for whatever reason, which is fair enough. But instead of just taking it up with the developers and then perhaps consulting other people about it, like, and being open about it and trying to get some help that way, she's gone and done this really sort of negative, I'm taking down everything with my music in it, and if you don't complain to the developers, then I will keep you taken down. As if to basically blackmail people and saying, if you want your videos back, you've got to complain to the developers on my behalf. And apparently she has been talking to a copyright lawyer or something like that, but that's as far as it's got in terms of what other actions she's going to take. But again, according to Jim, he's sort of saying, look, you know, it's completely and utterly wrong what she's doing. She's got no right to do it. She's essentially basically just violating all kinds of fair use policies, violating the contracts and the agreed rights and ownerships to the music in the first place. She hasn't actually outlined specifically what the problem is with the developer she's got, and she says she's got a legal background, so she's going to do everything she can to maintain what she's doing and keep doubling down on it. And he's like, no, that's absolute bollocks. Everybody hates you now, everybody's got a bad ear for you, nobody wants to hear your problems now. And he's actually trying to get some footage of one of these games. I think he's going to try and get Death Road to Canada up. Whether Jim will do it or not, I doubt it, but you never know. And play the music just to annoy her and say, look, if you want to take legal action against me, bring it, you know. But he's also advised people not to go on a hate campaign against her or try and call her out or anything like that in terms of further action and stuff like that, because it might be that she does. Apparently, like I said before, she's got a legal background. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But basically, Jim's confident that she can't carry on with what she's doing because it is she's breaking the law in numerous ways instead. Yeah, basically, he's advised people who have got takedown notices on their channels, to anybody who used footage of this shooter DSP game and or DPS, I think, I can't remember, and Death Road to Canada, to, you know, it's not combat it, what is it? You, oh, I've forgotten the word now. You go against it, you try and rectify why it shouldn't, dispute it, that's the one. So you can dispute the claim maybe and see if the claim will get removed after 14 days, especially if the developer, not the developer, especially if this Alex Mao woman doesn't actually say anything, because apparently once you've disputed the claim, you've got I think it's the person who issued the takedown has got 14 days to 14 days to take action on it, and if they don't, then the video gets automatically re-uploaded again and the takedown notice is taken down. So yeah, I'm sorry, I've gone completely the wrong way now. I'm just distracted by Vert's beautiful body. It is very sexy. But anyway, it's not. It's a bit of a grey area issue at the moment. You know, is she in the right? Is she not? Personally, from the sounds of things, it doesn't sound like she is, and she's just being a complete douche. But again, you know, we don't really know the full story. All we do know is that yes, people who have been given these takedown notices just dispute them, hope for the best, that nothing bad happens. Jim doesn't think she'll take further action because, again, if she does, she's going to be in a whole world of legal trouble and financial problems, etc. But apparently there are word out there that she's talking to a copyright lawyer, some famous one I think as well, or one that's been used quite a lot. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, I haven't played any of the games, so I mean, I liked Death Road to Canada, so I hope that gets amended at some point. But yeah, it's a really bizarre thing to do. Hopefully this dispute between her and the developer's sorted, but she's done it in a very immature way. But whatever. Just be careful out there, that's all.
Power of Leanbox. None can stand before me now. Still, this feels like such a hollow victory for some reason.
Probably because you didn't have much clothing on.
It must be because I am the sole CPU without a younger sister. One truly is the loneliest number.
It is, but with a body like yours, I don't think it matters.
Is this perhaps the way Noir feels every day of her life?
No, I think Noir's just in denial, but she does do fun stuff and she has a sister.
If so, I really should consider paying her a friendly visit from time to time.
Yeah, I think that'll go down well. But whatevers.
Now loading.
So, do we gain anything?
I was just thinking about that next-gen mech thing when I realized something.
We're meant to use Lily's special moves on it?
The frame is inspired from an old Last Station concept.
And I thought it was similar in design to a platform that was being developed in Leanbox.
Nothing about it looked like a Louis or Planetoon design. In other words, Noir and Vert let their old documents get leaked? You two gotta beef up security.
Blame game time.
I have no rebuttal to that comment. The irony of hearing you chastising us, Neptune.
That's quite impressive.
I'm severely pissed off about it. Just you wait.
Let me finish. Noir and Vert, you both emphasize network functions in your designs, correct?
Everyone does these days, though. What's that got to do with it?
Game industry itself can be affected through a network connection.
Dun dun dun.
Blonde, do you mean to say that someone tapped into our networks and stole our hardware schematics?
I wonder if it's that weird non-gender specific android thing again. I forget his name now, or her name, or its name.
More like somebody stole
the one that
ideas
Francis
and
Noir
modified them to fit their own.
I thought it had been modified from my design, but our internal spec sheets are kept secure.
Yes, with one anagram cryptic thing.
Anyway,
yeah.
when I was thinking about it,
It's better
one
now.
thing crossed my mind. Remember a few years back when the four of us got together to
Excuse me.
discuss new platforms? Do you remember your original prototype at that time, Vert?
Oh my, yes. It broke down after it overheated when it went toe-to-toe against your own, Noir.
Though hers went eventually overheated with the yellow light of death. Oh, that was annoying.
That broken prototype became my gift to Nepgear. So I recall handing it over to Neptune at the time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Neptune hounded me for my prototype, too. I gave it to her just to get her out of my hair. I kind of regret giving in to her. Who could have expected this?
Mine wasn't quite ready for a tech demo at the time, so I wasn't even involved in your competition.
What was I up to back then? I don't remember any new console being made for Planetoon.
It's because Sega bowed out of the race. But, you know, it was losing money at the time, and, well, if it had picked DVD-ROM instead of GD-ROM for its Dreamcast, it may have stood a better chance, but then again, maybe the writing was on the wall. Who knows?
You said you were too ahead of the times and you were waiting to wrap up its design. You came for the snacks.
And that's why I believe you are the one who created this next-gen mech character. But what? Me? Hang on, that was forever ago. I don't know nothing about nothing.
The evidence shows otherwise. With how much sense this makes, there's not much else to discuss.
So now they've all landed on Neptune again. Of course.
Unless you want to say our consoles evolved on their own. That's a big pill to swallow. That's about all you can come back at us with, though.
We need to have a nice long talk. I have a soundproof room with plenty of friendly tools. Trust me.
Well, somebody definitely took Gyra's Heart's method of interrogation to heart. I mean, okay, it was sort of done against her in a way in the previous game, but I think this game's completely like in its own universe type thing, or like not in its own universe, but it's like a complete another side story. But still.
Whoa there, ladies, rein it in. This is off everyone's rocker. I gotta lawyer up. Stat.
Just admit your guilt. Hiding the truth is only going to make things harder on you.
Well, we don't know if she is guilty or not. She took the prototypes, but did she make that mech thing?
You're freaking me out, Blondie Pooh. Are you gals gonna dissect me? I don't want to die. Help! SOS!
Something still feels off. All the major functional parts of my design are missing. How odd for that contraption to move when it was nothing but an empty husk of a machine.
It's the devil.
Now loading. What got added?
Well, whatevers.
To think that such a feature
Lily
was
Special
hidden.
learns. Yeah, it does it again. Feel 50% or more and press LB.
Yeah.
God, fuck knows. Okay, I don't know. We'll find out
Never
later.
mind.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, quest. So, oh god, there's loads of new ones.
Yes.
Let's get these all down. I think these ones. Yeah, these ones are all about the Lily moves, I think, because it seems to be that they all like White Serenity, Black Regality. Yeah, I think these are all the moves that we can learn, so that's fine. I think these are all the special Lily up moves they can get. But let's do it. We've got to do it anyway because apparently we need to. So yeah.
I really hope my hat doesn't fall off.
Well, let's see. But anyway, yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, the issues in question at the moment. We'll see what happens. I don't know much more about it other than that. But yeah, it's never really a good thing when somebody goes on a bit of a mental vendetta rampage and takes everybody down with them just because they can't be asked to fight their own battles, or at least do the sensible, mature thing, professional thing, and actually seek help in the first place instead of just combating everybody. Trying to get everybody to turn against the developer instead of just, I don't know, sorting it out with the developer or getting help, you know, that kind of thing. But whatevers. Anyway, other than that, there's not really much else to talk about, really. Apparently, there is rumours the Switch is in trouble again. Possibly that the sales momentum is starting to slow down on it, and again, third-party developers are not really jumping on board with the console itself. Again, I can understand why, because obviously it's very different from the Xbox One and the PS4, therefore porting games over to it is going to be, well, costly if it's even doable technologically. That means they have to create new original games for the Switch, which again is quite costly. So, you know, it's not good really at the moment. It's not good at all for Nintendo. Hopefully, though, that they'll be alright and they keep selling the console. But I mean, I'm a little bit annoyed about Pokkén Tournament DX getting the extra DLC on the arcade version and not the Wii U version, which was what made the game popular in the first place and pretty much saved it from extinction. So that sucks. But that's not the Switch's fault per se, it's just Nintendo being, well, a bit panicking and kind of porting over some Wii U titles over to it. I guess you could argue as well the Wii U titles are good, and if they didn't quite get the sales figures that they wanted on the Wii U, because obviously it was only, I think, so far there's been a reported 13.5 million Wii U consoles sold altogether, and production's now ceased. So obviously they're going to get quite rare. It's going to be like Dreamcast problems really. And the annoying thing about the Wii U as well, on a side note, is the disc drives are a pain in the arse to fix if they go wrong, if you can fix them at all. So that's irritating. But anyway, that's a separate thing. But yeah, I'm annoyed about Nintendo porting a load of Wii U games over to the Switch, and I don't mind per se. I'm not trying to be greedy and say, oh, because I'm collecting games for the Wii U, I'm like, oh no, don't do that, it knocks down the value of my games. No, it's not that. It's the fact that they're getting ported over with extra content that the Wii U versions aren't getting, and I can understand that. I mean, the Wii U is now a dead platform, but there's still people on the eShop server still works on it, and it's still getting. We got the DLC for the Zelda Breath of the Wild. You know, we bought the season pass. We're getting the DLC for that, at least so far. Anyway, unless they suddenly decide not to, that'd be bad. But I don't think they will. So yeah, it's kind of pooey, really. I don't know if there is any other games being ported over to the Switch from the Wii U. I think there might be one other. It's annoying. But anyway, other than that, yeah, third-party developers are sort of still waiting to see if more people will buy Switches, because I think it's nearly 3 million now. 3 million Switches have been sold. But people are saying that, I think they're saying the sales momentum slowed down. That's, again, it's down to the games, really. I mean, you've got Splatoon 2 coming out soon.
Exciting feeling.
That's it, I think. But there's probably a couple of others as well, but not many. Not in the too distant future, anyway. In the distant future, there might be more.
I guess we finished making it.
Hooray! But yeah, no, it's not good for Nintendo. So we'll see. Developers. The trouble is, though, is it's like a catch-22 situation, because third-party developers need to jump on board and make games for it to get people to buy them. To say, oh wow, that's awesome! I really want to get a Switch as well. To then keep the sales momentum going, but. Again, it's catch-22. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to skip through that.
Let's eat it up right now. Let's go, Ram.
Calm down. We don't know if this will be enough to defeat it or not.
You're such a downer all the time. I'm sure we'll win.
I'm not a downer. I'm worried. I have to do everything I can to ensure neither of you are injured.
Fine, we'll be careful.
Good. I'm holding you to that. Let's go. And this time we'll win.
Fun. I love you, but I love you mostest.
Yes.
A bonus.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still want to get a Switch though. I really do.
You got it.
But we'll see what happens. Right. Anyway, Black Galaxy now. Let's do this. Oh no, actually, let's get Uni on this one because she's a slightly lower level. So we're nearly 70% of the way through the quest now. So I think we are coming towards the closing stages of the game. I could be wrong though. But I think it's not, like I said, it wasn't a very long game, this one. But we'll see. I think the only other problem with the Nintendo Switch as well, just off the top of my head, apparently if you want to make physical copies for games on the Switch, there's an extra tax that developers have to pay when they make cartridges for it, those SD card cartridges. It might have been the same for the PS Vita and the 3DS, maybe even the DS and all that. It means that the recommended retail prices for the games as well for the Switch are going to be more expensive than they would be for the Xbox One and the PS4 because they use discs, which has less taxes on it or something like that. I don't quite know what it is, but it's some sort of tax on it that pushes the price up by like $10 or £8 or something like that in the UK, $10 in America and all that, which is kind of bad because again developers don't really want to have to do that, and not only that, they don't really want to pass that on to the consumers because consumers will probably go, oh, that's expensive for that. So again, they could go digital, but again, we'll see what happens. But personally, we'll see what happens with the Switch. It's early days yet. I mean, it's only been out for what, 4 months, if that. Maybe coming up 5. Yeah, I think it's about 4 months now, almost. And it's done very well in 4 months. It really has. But it all comes down really to, well, games. And let's just hope some third-party people do have games coming out for it. But if they don't, and what the going word is at the moment, that they're waiting and still waiting to see what's going to happen, it's not good news, because developers basically saying we don't have confidence in the device, or not just that they don't have confidence, but also they don't want to develop for it because it's perhaps expensive and they don't think the returns they can get from it in terms of selling copies of the games is worth the extra price of development. And also coming up with original IPs for it again is a more creative task. It's quite risky because you don't know which ones are going to work and which ones aren't. You could argue you do the same thing for other consoles, but I guess they're more established at developing for them. So yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22 for them. So I'm hoping developers will grow some balls and take a chance, you know, and that's it. But we'll see what happens. Well, that's all I've got for now. I mean, obviously Atari are coming up with a new games console as well. We'll see what that's all about. I mean, hopefully something comes to fruit of it. Might be a while, yes, but is there? You know, I haven't heard any news on it yet, but I have registered for news on their website, the Atari Box website. It's like a small 20-second clip of what possibly might be the console in terms of what it looks like, but it looks like apparently it's going to have wood veneer on it as well, which I think is really neat. I mean, whether it's real wood veneer or fake wood veneer, who knows? But that's quite funny. But whether the actual design that you see of the console in the video is the final one or not, they're saying it's not, and I'm pretty confident that it isn't. It's like a concept. But we'll see. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm intrigued by that. Maybe. Oh, have we done the quest? We've done it. I think maybe developers are waiting and holding to see what the Atari box is, because if it comes out and it actually sells, maybe not obviously as well as the One or the PS4, but it would be competition against the Nintendo Switch. That would definitely dent Nintendo's plan a bit as well. So interesting stuff going on. But we'll see what happens. We've heard of stuff before, and it always goes wrong. Good for you, girls.
Feel it. Power is fluxing between your heart and mine. The power of Last Station.
Not the power of grey consoles.
We should be able to give that monster what it deserves now. Death. Oh, and you did well, Uni.
Oh, that's nice.
I just did what I had to do. There's still more for us to take care of, after all. A response worthy of my little sister. We've got more work ahead of us, so let's keep our guards up, okay?
Okay.
I'm so proud of you.
Aww.
I'm going to keep getting stronger for you.
Because I love more praise. Oh well,
Now
whatever's.
loading.
It looks like they're getting on quite nicely, so we'll accept that. Right, last one of these.
Why, yes.
Oh, gone the wrong way.
Yep.
Last quest of these areas, I think. Yep, the purple progress, and then we can carry on with some more quests elsewhere.
I'll do my best.
Well, I'm guessing, like I said,
Now loading.
I'm guessing these are important because, I mean, obviously we can pick whichever fighters we want for the final battle, I guess. But it gives us a bit of choice, that's all.
Time to show off.
Ah, Planet's theme, Rebirth 1. Yeah, I've noticed the theme songs on this have been all from Rebirth 1. It does say in the top corner, which is quite nice. I did like, I have to say, still, in the franchise so far, I think Rebirth 1 or the first game is my favourite so far. I did enjoy it for what it was. And the second one, again, kind of lets itself down about halfway through. And then the third one I enjoyed, definitely. Iris Heart being my main focus of enjoyment of that game. But I have to be honest, it still comes a little bit short to the first game. And the first game with DLC had Iris Heart in it, although not part of the main story, but it didn't really matter. But the third game did have some genuinely good moments, and I think it was written better as well overall. So I did like the third one, and I liked how long it was as well. But I have to be honest, I still think the first one is my favourite. But the third one is very, very close. Although I have enjoyed this one as well. Again, it's a hack and slash game, so it's a bit different, and it's a side story. But I've actually enjoyed how this one's been written as well. This one's been written okay. And it's a bit funny and simplistic, but I like beat-em-up games, you know. I've got no problem with them. I generally think they're one of the best genres of games out there. Just button mashing and enjoying yourself, or sometimes you have to do combos and stuff like that. It's good, but no, I've enjoyed this one for what it is. It's alright. And it's also got the perviness and all that, MacGuffin and all that, which is, of course, for any single heterosexual male and, I guess, bisexual or lesbians out there who like that sort of thing, it's wunderbar. But anyway, awesome. Or maybe even heterosexual girls as well. I don't know, actually. I have no idea. Basically, anybody who likes it is what I should be saying. I'm always very over-specific with my language, but I blame my A-level English teacher for that. He was always very specific with his language, which kind of makes sense because he was an English teacher. But I liked him, though. It was always good fun to listen to. Knew his stuff. He was a real expert, he was. Real expert. Really liked him. But there you go. This and this and this and loads of spinning and death and destruction and everything. It's all good times. Oh yeah, I suppose, I think, yeah, there is one other thing I would like to talk about. I think I've already talked about it before, maybe in this series or in a different video in another series. I can't remember, but I've been playing a lot more and playing in general anyway. Project Zero, made another Blackwater on the Wii U. I think I have talked about it before on the channel, maybe in this series again, but I've been playing more of it with my sister. I usually play it every Saturday with my sister. She just watches and we make some progress on it. I only play it over the weekends because over the week I'm either working or doing videos for the channel. And looking for other jobs as well. Got an interview to go to tomorrow, which will be interesting. Which will hopefully, at the very least, open some more avenues of work ahead of me, which would be nice. Yeah, no. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I honestly think Project Zero Made in Blackwater, I know it got very mixed reviews, but I have to be honest with you, it's a good little game. I mean, I know the control scheme is not perfect for it, but I'm going the wrong way again, aren't I? Which way are we going? This way. The control scheme isn't perfect for it, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It is very slow and it is very clunky. I will give it that. But I think it's meant to be for the style of the game. But it can get frustrating for a lot of people. And again, I won't turn around and say, oh, people who think it's a bad control scheme, you're wrong. Not at all. But I certainly think for a Fatal Frame game, it's definitely one of the weaker entries in the series. That I will say. You know, if you've played Fatal Frame 1 or 2, they're a lot scarier. But this one has its scary moments as well. In fact, I really am enjoying Maiden of Blackwater, Project Zero Maiden of Blackwater. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's an underrated little game for the Wii U. So yeah, if you've got a Wii U and you're interested in playing it for yourself or watching an LP, do so. It's all right. I like it. I really do. And the Wii U gamepad actually does work well as the camera. It can be quite tempting and frustrating in terms of the controls, but most of the time it works okay. And it makes good use of it without it being annoying, so, or at least too annoying, you know. So it's an underrated game. I personally give it more than say 6 out of 10. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 so far. There are some moments in it that you could argue, that's not so good. And there are some moments where you have to do a lot of backtracking and stuff like that. And there's also a lot of reading involved in the game as well. So I wouldn't give it that. But graphically, it looks quite good. They really slandered the graphics on it. But I thought, well, it's on the Wii U, which has a really bad CPU, by the way, a really crippled one. But the graphics chip on it, or the graphics things, is beastie enough. You know, I think it's like Xbox 360 beastie, or at least PS3 beastie. I think it's 360 beastie. Maybe even a bit more beastie, actually, thinking about it, but not by much. But for what it is, it's a nice game. It really does work well. And yeah, okay, it's got the perviness of it with the girls and the water physics. But the water physics in it are really well done on it. If you look past the perviness of the clothes getting wet on the girls, which is a valid comment, because the male character in it, when his clothes get wet, you can't see through his shirt or his waistcoat, and you think, yeah, that's a bit sexist. Whereas you can with the girls, but they are wearing slightly skimpier outfits, but still, it is, I can see why people get upset, and you think, yeah, that's fair enough. It's still really clever, and I like the rain effects on the windows and what have you. Again, it's really cool, and it can be generally quite frightening and freaky. There are a lot of jump scares in it though, which, you know, some people don't really like and say, oh, it's just a cheap form of horror, but I think they're used for the most part quite effectively. I don't think they're overused, and I certainly don't think that they're there entirely for just cheap scares. They work quite well. They really do work quite well. And there are also some very genuinely eerie moments. And so far, the main antagonist of the game that I know of, she's fucking freaky, like proper scary looking. I won't say any more than that, but she's fucking freaky. And I recently met her in the game as a sort of enemy. And it just fucks up the game big time in terms of the fact that, unlike the ghosts and all that you fight, that can be frightening and also quite funny to fight. She like destroys the screen and everything and makes it all like blue and vibey, and she just kicks your ass basically. You have to run away from her. But yeah, it's terrifying when you first meet her. You're like, what the fuck? Oh god! Ah! It is quite good. So yeah, really liking it. I think if you get a chance to check it out, do so. I like it.
Score! New move, you have officially been invented.
It took a lot longer than the other ones though, but whatever.
Feel Tune's power flowing into me.
Yes, we will make more crappy Sonic games. Although they have got, what's it called? Sonic... Bollocks, what's that new Sonic game coming out? There's two of them. But there's the retro one, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Oh, I'm so looking forward to getting it.
We can do anything.
Can't remember. Sonic Chaos? No, is it Sonic Chaos? No. Fuck, I forgot what it's called now. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. It looks really good.
Our whole hive mind thing just went out the window with that comment. Whatever. Anyway, let's use.
And then there's the other Sonic game that I just remembered. I think carries on from Sonic Generations. I think. I don't know. I think it does. But it looks quite good. Sonic Generations was okay. I don't think it's as good as people made it out to be, but it was okay. It's certainly a lot better than a lot of the other Sonic games that have come out.
I'm so sleepy.
Yeah, well, I'm very yawning a lot lately as well, but again, I think that's putting down to my terrible health.
Too early for this.
You wanted us to wake you up no matter what time it was. We have to defeat our enemy. It's our duty as CPUs and as older sisters.
Right. Not that we really care if you come with us or not.
Too bad. I'm a-comin'. I gotta act like a big sister, too. You see? I'm not sleepy at all now. So, hey, why didn't we invite Vert?
She isn't an older sister to anyone. There's no need to drag her along.
Sick burn.
Heavens, what a stinging comment. Please invite me to your party regardless of my lack of siblings.
You're up, Vert. How'd you know we were gonna do this?
When I was half awake, I heard you girls plan your little secret meeting, so I decided to follow you.
You planned it all in the same area?
How very Vert-esque. I'm glad you're here anyway. I like it best when all four of us are together.
Aww. Wunderbar. Nope.
Nor?
Get up, everyone! Now!
Goodness, Uni, what's the matter? My eyelids don't want to stay open. Too sleepy. Uni, we're playing.
Get the lead out, girls! Our big sisters ran away!
Huh? Oh, you're right. Neptune never gets up before me. Not by at least 6 hours.
Did they leave us behind?
Blonde? Why?
It's the same old to keep you safe.
They always do this when they think something's scary or dangerous. So lame.
There we go.
We can handle ourselves just fine. They must have left recently, so... Come on! We can still catch up!
Yes, let's chase them down and not stop until we find them.
Then we'll pin them to the ground, arrest them, and take them to...
Get ready already, Rob.
we'll just ask them questions.
Okay.
I wonder if they just sleep in their clothes, or whether they just did it to cut things.
Faster than I thought!
I guess this should show us how much stronger they've all become.
Oh, it was all part of the plan, was it? Of course!
Neptune, I was looking all over for you. Please don't disappear like that. You know how worried I get.
You're being cruel, Noir. Why do you always leave me behind? Aren't I strong enough for you yet?
You're a meanie. Yeah, being left behind sucks.
Jeez, I can't tell if you've matured or not. It's not like we were trying to leave you behind or anything.
We wouldn't refuse the help of our very capable, strong CPU candidates.
Oh, you can't start brushing or bringing out all the, oh, we were going to tell you, oh, we'd always ask you for help. It wasn't our fault we left you behind, you bollocks.
You little
Trying to brush them off.
Super. Of course we want you to join us.
We just waited for you to come up here because it was all part of the plan. What the fucking plan is this, anyway?
Why'd you leave us behind? Our protective instincts as older sisters, maybe? Oh, we must have let our emotions get the better of us.
Well, at least I suppose they're being honest about it, I guess.
That doesn't make sense. No, I want to be with Blonde.
I want to die with Blonde. Actually, yeah, to be honest with you. Fair
No
enough.
matter how mature you become, I'm always going to act like your older sister.
You're grounded for 3 months.
We want you to rely on us more, and we want to protect you for as long as we possibly can.
Noir.
So, will you let us come with you if we promise to rely on you?
In other words, if you let us be your bitches.
You got it, Uni. Don't fall behind.
God damn it. Why couldn't they just woke them up and ask them? What was the point of this?
Yay,
I mean, okay, they said, oh, it's protective stuff, overprotective emotions and siblings and stuff, but still, bollocks.
I can't believe you'd trick us. I'm supposed to be the handful, not you, Blonde.
Call it my turn to play a prank on you two then. We're even now, okay?
Okay, fair enough. I'll give it that. That was a good comeback.
Now loading.
Now loading.
Everyone is saying so many adorable familial things. But in layman's terms,
You all suck.
they all wish to act more like older sisters. My, to go to such lengths to prove your love for one another.
Don't need a lecture on this. I've done this well, in my lifetime. All my life, every movie, video game, and book I've read always has some element of this in some small or large way. I know.
Bert,
I don't
you're
need to know about this
overgeneralizing.
again.
That makes us sound selfish.
Because you are.
Not my intention, I assure you. We did end up troubling the younger ones, but
We hate them.
being able to share in the feeling of wanting to protect a younger sibling was an enjoyable experience for me.
Oh, God.
Ollie, I'm so glad I found you.
I almost kicked myself for not looking under the bed and behind the TV.
Oh, that was bad. You should have done that.
Why would
And
it
the
be
fridge.
those
Don't forget to
places?
look behind the fridge.
Caretaker of a sister. People will think I sleep in wacky spots. In any case, sorry for making you worry about me again.
Are you?
I don't mind. As long as you're happy and healthy, so am I.
I like being mentally and emotionally distressed by you about these things. It's fun.
Awesome. Now that we're all here, let's pay a visit to that next-gen mecha thingy or whatever.
No, we've got other quests to do. Although I guess we can do if we wanted to.
What a scoop! I can't hold back my tears after hearing their confessions of sisterly love. Especially Noir.
It's not a scoop, it's boring.
We really must be great friends to argue and make up so readily. Too bad this isn't part of our article.
Good, it would be redundant.
I'm happy to know that these are the girls guarding game industry from evil.
Great.
They won't lose to anything.
They will if I'm controlling them.
Once this incident is settled, I think our future looks bright as long as they're around.
God, we established this over the last 3 fucking games.
Come on! We can't miss a single moment of their adventure if we want to call ourselves journalists.
Or spies or perverts, let's do it.
What just happened?
What just happened? Well, we can now go and take on the scary thing. You can now use X Drive without activating HDD. Okay. Oh, that's the X button that time. God. Well, whatevers. Right, okay, so we've still got a ton of these quests left to do before we get to the bottom one, which is obviously the bad one. So let's do a few more and then we'll call that a video. So mastery. I want to become strong without any effort. Can I watch you fight? Maybe I'll gain some EXP if I tag along and then hang back or something. I was doing that in Dark Souls 2. How did you know, game?
Why, yes.
Although I did actually, you know, take on the Lord Giant most of the time.
All right, let's go.
It's the Lord Giant in Dark Souls 2 is actually, once you've worked out his attack patterns and stuff, he's really fucking easy. You can still get killed by him sometimes, but it's very rare.
The next quest is... Oh, goody, an easy one.
Right, okay, action machine must fall. All machines must die. And dogos and mushrooms and blue flowers and all kinds of other dilly, willy, silly billy things. Oh my god, there's a lot of dudes here.
Instead of giving you advice, just switch with me.
No. We don't need to. Just basically kick ass and chew bubblegum and take names. That's what we're going to do. By slashing them all to ribbons.
Stars.
Trouble is though, she keeps getting paralysed, which is a bit annoying. Fair enough, we will transform. That's it. And I do like her transformation music. It's really cool. Already, her costume has broken already. My bad, Neptunia. She does kick ass in this. I've heard many good things about her in Megadimension 7. Which I am looking forward to playing. I genuinely am looking forward to playing on that one. If I can get it to run, that is, because recently I tried to get Dark Souls 3 to run and it won't run on my laptop very well, sadly. Even with all the graphic settings on low and even at 800 by 600 low resolution, which is as low as you can get on that game, it still doesn't work very well. So I can't play Dark Souls 3 for an LP, sadly, until I get a better laptop or a better gaming PC, which isn't going to happen for a very long time. Unless I can actually get myself some proper full-time work, because I feel ready to do that. However, if I do get full-time work in the job that I do, it may mean less videos in general for a bit. Hopefully I'll try and squeeze at least 2 or 3 out a week, but I'll give an update video on that when I've actually got my sort of work situation sorted. And I'll tell you what's going to happen in detail, because yeah, it may possibly mean that there is less videos. Not that I purposely want that to be the case, it's just the job in question I do is very hard work. But, bloody hell. But also, I can get some good money out of it and I can save up for a new gaming laptop or a PC. I'm probably going to get a gaming laptop because as much as it's better to build your own PC and it's cheaper as well, the problem is I haven't got the space for it. My bedroom's tiny and the way it's all set up and all that, there's nowhere for me to put it without really drastically changing things, and I can't because I need all the storage space that I've got in my room for crap, and again I haven't got the capacity to do anything else. So Yeah, it'll probably just be another gaming laptop. But to be honest with you, it's lasted as long as it has done. So,
So many ways to prepare.
you know, I'm sure a good gaming laptop will be fine. They're getting cheaper. They're getting smart. They're not getting cheaper, but the graphics cards in them are getting more advanced as well, which is good. So I'm happy about that. Right, anyway, I have no idea what we're going to do for this quest other than perform a 500-hit combo. Well, that shouldn't be too hard, he says. I generally do perform 500-hit combos anyway, but we'll see what happens. The trouble is, I don't think Famitsu's the best person to do it with, though. She does get hit quite a bit. We'll see what happens. At the moment, it's not doing too bad. I think the idea is, as long as we keep the enemies sort of like in front of her, it'll be alright. I need to be able to see what I'm doing though, game. There we go. Shouldn't be too hard once we get the hang of this. It's just 400 now. If I lose it now, I'm going to be real pissed, which probably will do, no more luck. Yay, we've done it. Yep, that was easy. Groovy!
This should have been a 40 out of 4. Level up.
Brilliant. Oh, and their Lily meter went up as well. Good times. Oh.
You are wise beyond your years to follow me, Famitsu. Did you see? I earned the highest rank possible.
No. Famitsu did.
You did your research well, Vert. This couldn't have been possible without a thorough investigation.
It was possible. You did all the fighting. It was your high rank.
I feel
I was
as though
there.
You and I could do
I did it.
wonderful things together.
Keep those to... Well, no, don't keep them to yourself. I'd like to know more about them. But still, even so, Famitsu did this.
Something legendary.
Something akin to pulling off a 100-hit combo in a fighting game.
Or like a special attack that lets us turn invincible and defeat a legion of enemies with one attack.
Better yet, I could trigger a chain reaction of insta-kills when I kill one enemy and clear the entire room.
I bet we could clear a quest without equipping anything.
I'm not even going to bother with this.
If we keep this up, we may just be handed a victory automatically should we appear together in a dungeon.
I almost feel sorry for the monsters that have to fight us. The moment they see us, they'll run away screaming bloody murder.
They may even fight amongst themselves just to throw us off and make us think that they are on our side instead.
Oh! How about the boss doesn't show up to work because it knows we're coming?
I do believe that simply gazing at the quest list will force it to mark them as cleared for us.
That's perfect! All I'll have to do in that case is write an article dedicated solely to you, Vert.
Indeed. Let us make our fantasies into a reality one step at a time.
Crazy.
Now loading.
I did like the way that the game took the piss out of like people who, you know, complete games by limiting themselves. Not that I've got anything against it, but I don't generally do that because to me it's not really something I need to do, but still. I think the candidates are stronger than CPUs. Prove me right by beating up this monster I created. Okay.
For me, this is nothing.
But let's hope so. I think what we're going to do for the rest of this video is just do these other quests before we are left with the last one. Or at least leave ourselves with a small handful of quests so that hopefully the next video then will be the last one. And then, not that I want to rush this game or anything, but we'll see. I don't know really. Maybe I might stop after this one. Cause I don't know how long I've been recording for now. I've completely forgotten actually that I have a very limited hard drive space when recording stuff. So yeah, I might have to quit after this one, but that's okay. Not quit, but stop recording. That's okay.
Just left. Locked on. There.
You're going to visit your big sister real soon.
Fire. Locked on.
I do like Uni's attack on this. I mean, it's a bit slow because well, not slow. It's a bit clunky because she doesn't move very well when she attacks. But that's obviously because she's got long range attack. She doesn't have to. But she is very powerful with this rifle.
Just left. Everything will be just fine with you here, Uni.
Yep, to shoot the shit out of everything.
There. Fire. Just left. There. Locked on. Seeing you
Easy.
Makes my day.
Ah, this is fun, isn't it? So there's not really much else to say, really. I'm just mesmerised by all the gun action, girl gun action stuff. I was about to say something a bit rude there, I apologise. But still. Oh, look, 999 hits already. Easy as you like. But I think she already has Netgear. I think she might have already done so. Although I don't know if we've managed to get a 999 hit combo, 9,999,999 damage thing with Noir in a battle, but we probably have done. Not that it matters. We can fight together, as in I'm not actually doing any fighting. It's just you shooting, and I'm just watching as your cheerleader. Good times. Well, let's at least make it some 999 damage. 9,999. Oh, whatever. You know, 9999999.
Are you okay? I'll help you. So redouble your efforts.
She's doing fine. Yay, we did it. Nice. I mean, there's absolutely 0 point doing any other moves with Uni. I suppose, like, sometimes if you get completely and utterly swarmed, it can be quite bad. You know, there are some enemies that do paralyze that can be annoying. But really, at this stage in the game, these enemies here are not really doing very much at the moment. Other than getting their asses kicked. Well, not kicked necessarily, but blown off instead, but still. Oh, here we go. Right, I think this. Alright, is there 3 of them? Or is it just the 1? Oh! We got costume broke. Here's our combo. No, there is more enemies to fight. I thought there was 3 of them to kill, so. I hope we don't have to defeat another 500 enemies in order before the other one spawns. Maybe it just. Oh no, it just spawns anyway. Oh, there they are. Maybe they were over there the whole time and I've just completely ignored them. I think we got them both. Yeah, we did it. Hey! Took a bit longer, but that's probably because I wasn't paying attention.
As I thought. I wonder if I'm a match for Noir yet.
I think you might be. I really do.
Wowee! That monster was so strong. It looked really cool. Too bad it was a monster. Still, that sort of design sense is what's missing in game industry now.
What? Copy, paste, and colour changes. What they call them, colour palette swaps. Palette swaps.
Maybe
That's
I
the
should
one.
turn myself into a cute girl cyborg. Hey, Nepgear, your imagination is going overboard again.
Look, Ghost in the Shell did it.
If you think guns are cool,
That was more
right?
sexy than it was
If
cute,
you
but
could
still.
transform into a big cannon, wouldn't you want to? I like guns, yeah, but I don't want to be one.
Yeah, I agree.
If I become Nepgearborg, then I want to use you as my giant cannon. Doesn't that sound awesome?
Sounds both awesome and sexually interesting. Oh, but I have a very dirty
Why are you
mind, sorry.
assuming that I'm going to become your gun?
I'm sure there'll be something out there that will have depicted that in some form or another. Oh god, what is wrong with me?
Fire! Doesn't that name sound great? I used your name plus cannon.
Okay, you need to give her a good slap, Uni. I think she might be going into proper La La Land here.
Don't explain the most obvious name in the world. You can't go back to being human if you go cyborg, you know. I know that's silly. Why would I want to go back to using weak human flesh? This is who I am now. Are you delusional? You're not a cyborg. Take good care of your human fleshy bits and leave me out of it. Besides, you could never become a CPU if you're a cyborg, let alone continue to be a CPU candidate.
Well, I don't know about that. Famitsu and Dengeki have got some equipment that pretty much halfway does that.
Oh, you're right about that. Sorry for going uber nerd on you. I can't lose my CPU candidate slot.
Yeah, you can. You'll be free forever. You can do what you want. Actually, tell a lie. That's not true, because if you stop being a CPU candidate, don't you lose your immortality status? Details.
Just so you understand. Not like I was worried about you going nuts or anything. I just really don't want you to stick me in your weird robot fantasies. That's all.
Aww, she's being innocently
Now loading.
awkward. Cool. Alright, let's see how many quests we've got left then. We've got 2,
Yes.
3,
Yep.
4,
Why, yes.
5, 6, 7. God, we've got loads left. And then the last one. Right, okay then. So, yes, we've got 5 more quests left. But we've got 7 more quests left to do. I think we'll save that for next time for now, because I'm worried about time limits and stuff. We've probably already gone way over time limit, but that doesn't matter. But anyway, it is what it is. So can I say thank you very much for watching. If you have done, I hope you enjoyed my rambling in this particular video. And next time we might be able to finish the game. We'll see. But until then, take it easy. Have a good one. Have a fuck! I fucked up my ending. Outro. That's the word. God damn it. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.